Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the City of Bettendorf Committee of the Whole meeting. Today is Monday, February 3rd, 2025. Thank you all for joining us. We have one item on our consent to review. This is consent item D. It's the approval of a contract for services with our friends at the Quad Cities Chamber. And for that, we welcome our City Administrator, Decker Plain. This won't be new to any of you. We've talked about it a couple times and had their presentation when the Chamber came to visit. Decker.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is the newest agreement for services. We had a previous agreement with the Chamber, and as you know, during COVID, we went from being the Quad City First to being a member of the Chamber, and we believe that it's prudent to go back to the model of having the economic development done with a group different than the Chamber because of the complications with the private sector, and we all like the model that was Quad Cities First, which is a combination of public-private partnership. This is the agreement that we've all come to through the administrators. I was asked a question earlier about the per capita amount. We're moving from $1.49, which is what we have now in the agreement with the Chamber, to $1.69. So it's an increase, and then there's an increase obviously every year thereafter. We do think that the agreement represents, for the most part, what we all as a region are trying to achieve. I think the biggest issue is the issue of not poaching with incentives businesses from either side of the river to the other side, and that's what we've been working hard not to do. And I think for the most part, we've all tried to abide by that. So we've been through this a couple of times. We briefed the council on it. I would answer any questions you would have, but otherwise we'd ask that you take a motion to approve it.
Greg?
Thank you, Your Honor. This was the first time I got to see the document. Perhaps others had seen it earlier. From my perspective, I'm not sure. There's three lawyers in the horseshoe here. I'm not sure any of the three of us would jump up and down over the way this is constructed. But we also would understand that several of the other communities have already passed it. So this is a little late to be making changes. That being said, one of the things that concerns me is the 120-day notice or the automatic renewal indefinitely. So I've asked staff, and DEC has assured me that about 140 days ahead of the renewal time, staff will give us a quick update. And I don't need it in front of the council. A memo's fine. Just saying, yeah, we're happy with how things are going. We don't want to change anything. And that'd be enough for me. I just hate to see automatic renewals in perpetuity. The second thing, Your Honor, is the ethics section of this, which reads poorly to me. But I understand that the administrators are going to work on that after everybody has approved the agreement, and they'll try to come up with a modification, and I'm okay with that as well. So thank you, Your Honor.
I know that Chris had a couple things that you were advocating to modify. If you want to speak to just in general your thoughts, because I think you hit the nail on the head. There may be some things that we thought maybe should be changed or revised that didn't get into the framework, if you will, before others had passed it and maybe didn't take the same look at it as did we.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, I think that's a good summary, and I do think that over time we can improve this, including the ethics section and including the MOU that deals with cooperation. Some of those things kind of deal in large part with the same thing. So I think, as this is now just a 1 year, I agree with the evergreen clause. I'm not a big fan of that either. That came in late because it was initially a 5-year term. So this was added kind of late in the day. We will certainly keep an eye on that so that we don't get tripped up with the renewal. And I think also we will try to, over time, work together with the other communities to improve the form of the agreement. But I think materially it does the trick, and I'm confident that that this is a good contract, and that we can. I feel comfortable advising approval of it tonight.
Any other questions? Jerry.
Thank you, Your Honor. I like the fact that it specifies that we're gonna get an annual review of it, where we get feedback as to what's working and what's not working. I think that's good news.
Any others? Online, we have Nick, Lisa, and Scott. No, Lisa's right
Lisa's
here.
here.
I'm sorry, Greg.
I'm somewhere.
Oh, you were down in Florida having a good time, and I got tripped up.
back.
One more week, Your Honor. No questions, thank you, sir.
Okay,
Got mine in your mind.
and if Scott or Nick has anything, now would be the time? All right, thank you, gentlemen. Like to
I'm
enter.
gonna ask Lisa if she wants to speak in person versus not online.
Yeah, I corrected it, but you certainly may.
It'll come to you.
Like to entertain a motion to approve consent item D at this time.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, we'll take up consent item D on consent tomorrow night. Let's take a look at the remaining consent agenda items for tomorrow. If there's anything on consent any particular council member would like to discuss, now is the time. Seeing none, how about Greg, Nick, or Scott?
Nothing, sir.
All right, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve for consideration tomorrow night, all consent agenda items.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, we have our consent agenda set. Is there any question on any of the items to appear? We have a couple second readings and a third, and one road project. All right, those will all remain. Any items to be added by council tomorrow night to our agenda? I don't have anything. All right, well, fantastic. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We stand adjourned. Good work, people. Thanks for coming. Please adjourn to the St. Croix Room at the aisle.